Hey, what's up, folks? This is Dave Wood, and I'm sitting here in my house, not my house, excuse me. I'm in my brother's guitar shop, and what I'm going to do is I wanted to do a quick video to match my blog post. I'm not going to read this whole post, but I have a. If you click on the link in the comments of this video, hold on a second here. If you click on the link in the comments and then you go the post, it is my final message to so that this video in particular is based off of. And here's the reality that I wanted to get into with World Ventures and what the problem is with World Ventures. And I want to keep something in mind when you're listening to this video, when you're watching this. I love World Ventures. You know what I mean? I love Wayne and I love Dan, and I'm not actually mad at them now. At this point, I think this is funny, but I've been warning them. And the first time that World Ventures, I warned them. I warned them for like 3-4 months straight. Okay, 3-4 months straight of warning, and they sat like fat happy campers, thinking that nothing was going to happen. And this is after they had their four of their top executives resign at the World Ventures headquarters, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose on them. They had leaders split off. I got a message from Jake Kevorkian that gave me a list of the leaders that had bailed World Ventures. Other travel companies started starting up all over the place. Okay, competition started emerging, and basically exactly what I said would happen is actually exactly what happened. Now I'd be interested in this video if I think it's hilarious that I can do a video like this where I've got this company, right, and it gets like 0 views on here. Right now, I'm not gonna bash into World Ventures and stuff like this, and there's some guitar playing in the background, so as you're listening to the guitar and you're listening to the rock music in the background, just pay more attention. Now, here's the thing that I want you to understand. And this message goes to Wayne, and it goes to Dan and Wayne in particular. And really, this is all for all the people in World Ventures. Okay. When something is cursed, it is cursed. Okay. Like in the Bible, I was just doing this thing in Genesis chapter 9. Okay, I was just reading this where Canaan, saw his father naked, and then he went and laughed and told his brothers about it, and then he was laughing at his dad, essentially not honoring his father, right? And so what happened is that his brothers came in and covered Noah in his nakedness. And Noah woke up and knew what Canaan had done. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan." Right? And this is the same goes to World Ventures. Cursed be World Ventures. Okay? And I'm not cursing them. You don't understand. Right? Jesus said, "Curse not at all." Right? I'm not cursing World Ventures. Actually, God is doing it, which is much worse than if I'm doing it. If I'm doing it, then I gotta create all this complicated stuff to I gotta write really specific rules and all this sort of stuff to make it happen. But if God does it, he controls it, and it's actually much worse if he does it. So what in particular is World Ventures cursed with? What are they cursed with in particular? Right? And like I said, listen to the rock music, go into a deeper trance, right? Well, there's a lot of things. All right, to you. And I want you to pay attention to it, okay? And I've got two sides. I've got a positive and I've got a negative. And my real message for this is please pray for World Ventures that they get my income back, because it's been hurting me for a really long time. And I grew up loving network marketing. And I loved it my whole life. And Eric Worre, I'm sure you'll see this. Eric Worre, I love network marketing my whole life. I grew up loving it, right? It's in the post. If you watch my Amway story, I grew up loving network marketing. I hated network marketing for a year because of how I was treated at World Ventures. So I know I blew up at them and stuff like that. I was hurt. The reality is that the reality is that they really messed me up more than, I mean, if I sued them in a religious persecution lawsuit, World Ventures did. If I sued them in a religious persecution, which they would try to denounce by saying this has nothing to do with the fact that he broke the policies, and I would say yes, it does, because you guys violated the policies first. Actually, a bunch of your policies you violated. I just listed one in the post. I could do another post or follow-up post or something like that. But the reality is that you guys violated me, and you violated me because you allowed Rob Skinner, who I brought into my organization. So this is also partly my fault. But I put Rob Skinner in a position of power, and then he violated that power and stabbed me in the back, right? Which has been a repeating pattern that I've had, you know, from various people. I had Mars do that. I had Dave Sharp do that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's like you put somebody and you give them too much power, and power gets to their head. But the reality is that Rob Skinner went and he turned basically my organization against me when I loved my organization very much. And you know, if my organization talked to me and they would have said, you know, like, hey, can you stop doing these videos or whatever that we don't like? I would have been like, yeah, sure. But why weren't they talking to me? You know, it made no sense. So in any case, you know, all right. So hold on a second. I'm gonna go ahead and read something from this post. Okay. So, you know, I asked God essentially, like, what will happen to World Ventures if they don't give me my income back? Right now, I'm not asking him to do anything. I wasn't asking him to curse World Ventures. And I just asked him that. And this is what he said. Now, I want you to keep in mind, if you're in World Ventures, that everything that I say like this happens. Okay? Might happen now. It might happen in 3 months. Might happen in 6. But World Ventures will implode. Okay? If they don't give me my money back, they will implode, and everyone's incomes will be lost because of the karma from Wayne Nugent. What you say, well, what's the karma? Well, Wayne Nugent is responsible, and Wayne, I love you, I forgive you, right? Wayne Nugent is responsible for stealing my family's income, stealing it for himself or for their own people or for whatever his reason is. Now, I think you're normally, Wayne, a very good man, so I want to be balanced here. You stole my income. You stole my downline. You guys never paid me in the contract that I signed. You never paid me for that downline. Therefore, that is my downline and my data. Okay? And if I sue you guys in court for that, I could win a lot of money and charge you with corporate theft. All right? It's not funny. Right? And so, like, I want to be really clear that, I mean, I've heard of stories of you guys doing stuff like this before from some of my friends. And the reality is that it's going to come up to you. So what's going to happen? Well, karma, let me explain karma. And I sent a message to them, and it's actually on the post, and the post does a great job explaining this. So karma is actually just very fair, is what it is. Exactly what you dish out is exactly what will come back to you. Okay, that's why, you know, I pray for Dave Sharp and stuff like that, because I know what's coming to him. You know what I mean? You can't stop the karma, Dave, from what you did to me. You say, well, I've stopped it for a long time. No, you haven't, dude. You don't understand karma. That's not how it works. It just builds and builds and builds and builds and explodes in your face, dude. That's what happens. And, you know, you can't stop it. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Same's true for women. So the reality is that you guys stole from my family. I had kids to support. It put me on the, you say, well, you write negative posts about World Ventures and stuff. Look, I did that because I was so pissed off and hurt. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I'm not a victim. It is what it is. Right? So, you know, I've apologized. They haven't apologized. And, you know, where is Wayne being a better man? So in any case, Dan Stamen has wanted to give my income back for a long time, and then he turns it over to Wayne Nugent, and Wayne Nugent somehow always comes back with a no. Right? And they pinned me in corners. World Ventures did stuff like, you know, I had 3 positions, then they narrowed it down to 1. And then they got me in this contract where they could just terminate the 1 position. It was way more easy, and they just got rid of their problem, like a war strategy. It was like, I mean, we're talking about bullying, pressure tactics, social pressure tactics, and other nonsense that was going on in the organization for a long time. Right? So it was the biggest bullying and biggest abuse I had ever experienced in my entire life from any single group of people, was the bullshit, abuse, and the nonsense that I received, that I was on the receiving end at World Ventures. I've never been abused ever in my life. And the funny thing is, I've never abused anybody like that. I have never done, ever in my life, not one time, what they did. I've not done it, right? Even when I was like addicted to ADD medicines and stuff like that, I didn't act like that. I've never done what they just did to me, to any human being ever in my life. Not even once. So in this case, I'm the better man, right? I treated them way better than they've treated me. I promise you that. They destroyed me. They stole my team. They stole my people and got my whole people to not talk to me anymore. By not standing up to Rob Skinner, by not standing up to bullshit. So here's the thing that's going to happen is that Rob Skinner, the World Ventures culture is going to turn on Rob Skinner. You say, the World Ventures culture is not going to turn on Rob Skinner. Oh, yes, they are. I promise. It's coming. Because this is the karma, and you can't stop karma. Okay? And if they don't turn on Rob Skinner, what's going to happen is World Ventures is going to collapse, people. And if you want World Ventures to collapse into a pile of dust and be ruined and like never exist again, we're talking like for time and all eternity, it'll be nothing. Then keep doing what you're doing. That's what'll happen. I warned you before. I warned you. 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 And then what happened is later, what I said was going to happen actually ended up happening. Leaders bailed. The corporate executive team resigned. There was vandalism towards World Ventures from the local community, from people they pissed off. I didn't talk to those people, right? And people egged World Ventures headquarters. It was embarrassing. Wayne was embarrassed. Dan was embarrassed. The company was put in financial jeopardy, right? And still, to this day, they're so resentful and so hateful, right? And so angry, not willing to fix it. This a year later, they're not willing to fix it. So I'm kind of done just being neutral about it, right? Now, I'm being pretty fair and neutral in this message, though. So here's what I've got: two things. So here's what will happen in World Ventures and Wayne Nugent if they do not fix things with me, saith the Tetragrammaton. Thus saith the Tetragrammaton, my servant David hath asked me what will happen to World Ventures if they do not restore his income by this is the answer. Their sins are grievous, my son, for they have dishonored the mother, Queen Diana. And as it is written, whoever sins against my servant David, it shall be forgiven them. But whosoever sins against the Lion of the tribe of Judah, it shall not be forgiven them in this world, nor in the world to come. There is no forgiveness for World Ventures for the karma of what they caused in the terms of your wife, Priscilla Shikana. The only way that this karma can be restored is to have the exact equal thing happen to them that they caused to you if they do not repent, which they have not. The karma of this sin against the Holy Mother, which is grievous, will ensure the complete and utter collapse of World Ventures and the loss of all of the assets of Wayne Nugent, in particular most of the assets of Dan Stamen, and the homelessness of Wayne Nugent for a time period of 6 months or more. He said, it will happen. I know. Okay? I know. Look, sometimes you get so prideful. We get so prideful that we can't see, right, what's coming to us because of what we have from our own past karma. Right? When you're on the giving end of karma, when you're on the receiving end, like I was in this case, I was on the receiving end of the karma of World Ventures that they were giving. Okay? They victimized me. Am I a victim? No. Right? I understand it. I own it. However, they got to own it. Right? For as is written, be not deceived, Elohim is not mocked, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? From the book of Romans, I think. And as they have sown seeds of destruction and discord, so shall those seeds bloom and destroy and ruin the company of World Ventures in the same manner that they ruined my servant David, saith the Tetragrammaton, which will result in the complete and utter loss of all their assets and homelessness, particularly of Wayne Nugent, if they do not repent and honor the mother and my servant David. And there shall be Antichrist released into the organization of World Ventures. They're already there, but silent and waiting, and they shall stir up one leader against another, and another leader against the first, and every man shall be against his brother, and the organization shall crumble in pieces as if mine hand is flicking a dominoes puzzle, which in the celestial kingdom says, the permanent end of World Ventures. You know, like the V for Vendetta puzzle? My servant David shall not do it, I shall do it, saith the Tetragrammaton. And people shall get angry and hurt each other, and there shall be murders and sorcery and wars over the remains of World Ventures, which used to be the best company in network marketing, according to Eric Worre and others, saith the Tetragrammaton. Every man turns against his brother. And the protection over World Ventures from me shall be removed, and it shall be invaded, this is God speaking, by all the demons in the entire universe. And for a time, Wayne Nugent shall be the new Antichrist. And the women shall see visions of the demons and tell their husbands, and many shall flee at that day. And the company after company shall launch competitive software and solutions, each time reducing the size of World Ventures, forcing Dan Stamen and Wayne Nugent to keep the company alive with their own money, which they're going to do. And at the end of the to try to prevent losing everything. And then people are going to sue them. I didn't mention this. At the end of the day, World Ventures shall be lost and replaced with another that is honorable, and the land for the corporate office shall be bought, the headquarters demolished, and a park planted that honors the children, and somebody will steal the team of Wayne Nugent. Like he stole the team from Empower Network, my life's work. He stole my life's work. Wayne Nugent, I want you to hear. I think that you generally are a good person. You stole my life's work. You robbed it from me, practically at gunpoint. Okay? So, if thou, however, they honor me, but remember what happened last time, Wayne. It'll be worse this time, I promise. Way worse. Because I'm not going to do it this time. It's going to be way worse. If, however, they honor me by honoring you and your wife and your children, what shall happen then? Well, thus saith the most holy Elohim that resides outside of space and outside of time concerning what will happen to World Ventures if they honor my servant David. They shall be blessed in the field, and blessed in the office, and blessed in their homes, and blessed with their wives and their husbands and their children. Instead of being turned into a park, they're building, World Ventures shall build many parks, making it a part of their brand to build parks for the best kids in America. And they shall build technology that is superior for travel within your world than any other company that exists in the entire universe. And their company shall be promoted in the news and promoted on the internet and promoted in the field and the parks and the coffee shops and the churches. It verily shall be blessed. And the damage that was done to World Ventures previously shall be reversed in time, and all time shall be reorganized, erasing the damage from existence. And the only person who shall be able to remember it is yourself and Wayne Nugent. Dan Stamen shall not remember. And they shall build buildings and make roads and build travel technology and build better vacations and save countries and lead the world to Christ on Sunday at their events. And they shall walk in the light and the glory of Elohim, and their fears shall be removed from them, and their daughters and their sons and their sons' sons and their daughters' daughters shall be blessed, and multiplied and saved and lifted up and encouraged, and filled with knowledge and wisdom from heaven, the universe, and their various face. And the reps of World Ventures shall be blessed, and on that day they shall begin a process of exponentially expanding. And many people shall be saved from the great tribulation by representatives of World Ventures. And the intelligence of Wayne Nugent shall expand, and he shall notice it. The same will happen to Dan Stamen, only he shall not notice it and think his intelligence has always been that size. So as you can see, this is more fair than the way that I did it last time, right? However, let me tell you what's going to happen. I told you kind of vaguely what's going to happen. Let me tell you specifically what's going to happen to World Ventures if they don't just give me my income back. And I'm sick of this. They got till tomorrow, and the curse is permanent. I'm done. It'll be wiped out. And it might take a while, might not. There'll be, here's what's going to happen. There's going to be fraud rings. People are going to slam World Ventures with fraud rings from all over the world. The Antichrist is going to do it. Fraud ring after fraud ring after fraud ring after fraud ring after fraud ring. They won't be able to pay commissions. Ventures leaders will start fighting. Then they're going to start leaving. Then they're going to start going to other companies. Then they're going to start doing other things. Then they're going to never join World Ventures again because they're going to be so angry and they're going to be so hurt. And they'll blame Wayne Nugent.